You know that saying, two wrongs don't make a right? Well, guess what? Three wrongs don't make a right either. And that's what I'm seeing here. We have this interview with Cam and Joe Smith's wife, Kisha Chavis. And the interview took a very weird direction, if I may say so myself. Right? If this was Scottie Pippen's ex, if this was Tyrese's ex, I don't think I would have had as much of a problem, right? Because Scotty's ex and Tyrese's ex, let's face it, both of them been out there clout chasing, right? Larsa is dating whoever she's dating, trying to supposedly make Scotty mad. That's not gonna work. Tyrese's ex is throwing up all these messages about how, it was the divorce attorney's fault for, pushing her through to get divorced, not taking any accountability. So I don't think he would care either. But here in this situation, you have Kisha Chavis, who is the wife of Joe Smith, who obviously he has to take some blame for fumbling the bag, right? That's a you problem, Joe Smith. But that happens, right? Sometimes in life you'll fumble the bag once, twice, three times, right? Depending. Maybe you might not know how to handle money when you first get it. You might not know that, listen, I got to put a big chunk of this in some real estate, get me like some multifamily homes, right? Apart from the fact that I got to have my own place, right? Not no super mansion, but a place where I can live comfortably for me and my family. I have to invest in some stocks, some bonds, right? Let me put some money in crypto. Let me probably open a little business, that can make me some money on the side where I can go hustle. I don't know if he did any of these things. And of course, I am not here to pocket watch or put the full brunt of the blame on Joe Smith because let's be honest, his wife, she got to take accountability. And based on this interview, it's obvious why he had to get to stepping.
Do the body rub babes travel?
Yes, they do.
Are you one of the body rub babes?
Well, I have been, but now I kind of like kind of
Could you be?
to do it.
But if I wanted you to be one of my body rub babes, like, would you be a body rub babe for me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Now,
this is where the interview took a turn. Now, this is Joe Smith's wife. This is Kisha Chavis. She's 52. Killer Cam, 47, right? Obviously, I had to look it up. I didn't know their ages, but in this game, you got to do your research. So, Cam is here acting like he's 17, 18 years old, attracted to this older woman who, let's face it, she does have, the melons out. So, right, she still looks good. It's understandable. Why put it out there in the ether on a show, though? This woman has literally just went viral for exposing Joe Smith's business, putting it out there in the world, right? And she has an OF page. But you sound like you're about to chase tail like a, wet behind the ear 18-year-old, 17-year-old. And we've been there. Men, obviously, we've been there. Right? If you're a young dude that was coming up, you had, a certain amount of clout, certain amount of pull in the streets, you probably, it's not for everybody, obviously, but you had relationships with older women, right? When I was younger, I had a relationship with a woman that was at least 11 years older than me, Right? We met out at a party through mutual friends. This person like, oh, this is so and so, and next thing you know, clapping cheeks. It happens that way sometimes. But this right here, I mean, I cannot excuse it on his part. I really can't because I feel like this situation is still so raw. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if they're going to get back, but here you are telling someone about, oh, will you be my body rub babe? And she's like, oh, yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know if she did it just because of the interview, but let's face it, nobody would really know Joe Smith's wife if she hadn't put that video out about his finances and her doing that OF page. I certainly wouldn't have. On the other hand, now you're doing this interview with Cam, he's saying this to you. A lot of people know Cam. He's been in hip hop for what, 20 years? Maybe a little more? He's very well recognized. So there's no way the people are not going to talk about this.
Because I don't mean to be unprofessional or anything like that, but I can't stop looking at your cleavage. It's you got your cleavage is popping, babe. No, you can.
Your cleavage is popping, babe. Look how he's grinning. Yo, he is acting like a wet behind the ears 18-year-old, right? See this older woman, and he's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind having that. Now, as I said, Cam been around, so I'm sure he's one of these dudes from the industry that has had more than their fair share. What's up with this though? And as I said, this is in an interview, right? The show that he has with Mace is quite popular, right? I haven't watched it, but just by looking at the views of some of the shows, they get a lot of eyeballs. Now, the fact that this woman is in some sort of situation where she has already went viral for putting this video out there in the ether, now you coming on and saying this. What do you expect to happen? What are the assumptions that are going to be made? And man, let's be honest, right? When the conversation is going this way, we already know what time it is.
Leave it how it was, man. You can leave it exactly how it was, man. Right now think about cleavage and the body rub babes, but don't cover her school.
It's like
Yo, they both got the big Kool-Aid smiles on. What is going on here? Now, as I said, men, we already know what time it is. You are the type of dude that like beautiful women. We understand. What's understood, it don't got to be explained. Right? But at a certain point, you have to exhibit some self-control. Right? This is why the Jews refer to everybody else as goyim. Right? Because when you see something like this, you have to say, all right, well, yeah, Joe is wrong for messing up the bag. The woman's wrong for starting the OF page and then putting his business out there rather than putting her head with him and saying, yo, let's put our heads together. Let's see what we can come up with if we got some debt that we got to pay. Now, understandably, most of the money being made right now is on the internet, it's on YouTube, it's on social media. So if you had an idea to put something together, you could have discussed it with him. Obviously, it wouldn't be OF because we're talking about a much younger woman's game, and essentially, it is still prostitution just by a different name. Okay, let's be 1,000% honest and let's call it what it is. But she didn't do that. She didn't do that. Now you have Cam here openly making some advances, talking about this woman's right, her huge rack that she has open. She's doing an interview. She's not properly clad. I mean, And guys, we see it all the time, right? Do we not? We see the women out in the streets, right? Whether you're driving, you're walking, you're in public transportation, whatever the case is, right? And they have the what is it? The yoga pants, right? With you don't even know if there's anything under there because it just looks like they have nothing under there, right? Those that go to the gym, right? They walk through the stores. It's like nobody wants to cover their behind with a sweater or a light jacket anymore. It's just open season. And of course, men are very visual when it comes to women. You see a pretty woman, there is a chemical reaction that tends to happen within you. Like, damn, wow, she's fine, right? But you're saying you don't want to be unprofessional, but you are. In this setting, you have to keep it together. You want to say something afterwards, off camera, try to be some sneaky link. That's between you, her, and the Lord. You know, you might have to have a karmic debt for that. That's another video for another topic and another discussion entirely. But if that's what it was, okay. But if you having this discussion on camera with everybody watching, that should be talking about business, quite honestly. If you're doing well, apparently the show is doing well, you have some ideas, you want to shoot at her, maybe help her out of this situation and put her on something, better than OF, I would have been all for that. If you were shooting at ideas at her as opposed to her man, because her man is obviously not on the interview, it's just her. So if it was something you wanted to shoot, like, hey, what about this opportunity and such and such and such, okay, that's not what we're seeing here. Now, obviously, I did not see the whole interview, but regardless of what the entirety of it was, this right here, this should not have happened. I think it's an entirely bad taste. I think it sets a bad precedent. All right. As I said, between hetero men and women, we already know what it is. Especially if you got some clout, you got some status, you're well known, you got money, all these things, they go together. People will be attracted to you regardless. But you have to be on the P's and Q's. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Time and place. Anyways, I don't want to make this video too long, but I hope you got my point. I hope it is not lost on you. All right. Make sure you like it for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you're here on YouTube with me. And of course, share the video with everybody you know. This right here is one of the reasons that relationships are on the rocks and off a cliff, basically. This is why it's not working. Right? This woman wants to wear the pants, do OF, don't tell her husband she's sharing a bed with. Dude had all the bread, fumble it. I don't know whether he blew it on her or he just blew it, didn't invest properly. Cam on top of that, here making advances, talking about her big rack and all this thing about body rubs. And come on, man, we know how that gonna go. Happy ending. That's what he think about. Anyways, until next time, family, I'm out. Peace.